This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We had done just the basics of store procedures yesterday. So, what are the features and how to where exactly we're going to use store procedures? What is in caching and execution plan? Only the basics thing we discussed. That's not an issue for you. Okay. So today we'll uh, we'll discuss about how to create complex store procedures and how to debug a store procedure, because writing a store procedure is a bit easy because you know the requirements. Based on that you create a store procedure, but if something goes wrong, how to debug a store procedure, that is also very very important. So I don't know, debug is not working in my computer, but I'll post one video on how to debug the store procedure. Okay, so now we'll work on today our store procedure from our case study. Okay, so let me open Indian Bank case study. Let me write some complex, store procedures. So Indian Bank, I think most of them completed school case study and supplier case study, but I'm not sure whether you guys completed Indian Bank case study or not. Clear? So in this, the yellow color, these are triggers. Okay, these are triggers. You're supposed to write 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 triggers are there. All these are triggers, and these are the view requirements, and these are the query requirements. Then, right. So then this is where the stored procedure. Okay. So let us continue with the stored proc today. So Indian Bank list of transactions. For example, today we are in March, right? So every month you are going to get a. So we are in March, right? Let me take February. Okay, last month. February 1st to February 28th. Okay. And 2021. You supposed to give a report to the customer saying that what is the account number and what is the account type and his name and what is the balance in the account today and branch in which is doing the open the account. Now serial number, how many transactions he has done last month. Okay, so cash deposits, some date, check amount, running balance, right? So you go to the bank and do a lot of transactions every month, right? So this is a statement for each and every individual customer, monthly statements. This is clear. So the bank supposed to send what is the balance in the bank currently and how many transactions you have done in the bank last month. Clear? So we need to send number of transactions are 4, total cash deposits are 2, total cash withdrawals are 2, and there is no check deposits, and the dates and when the balance dropped below the minimum balance for the product. This we'll discuss later. So what do you mean by minimum balance? And closing the, this one. So this is what is the store procedure requirement. Clear? And I have to print the data like this, and I have to create a store procedure. So all this information we can get from the account master table. First, you should know from where we need to get. And one more thing, you need to input the account number, right? So when you give account number, then you can see the statement for that account number. So this will be input parameter. Okay, you need to understand. If you don't understand, at least ask the team or at least ask the client saying that what are the input parameters, something like that. Okay, they'll say input parameter could be, this one, and every month, for example, every month, first or second, it is going to be generating a previous month bank statement. Clear? So you need to get the transactions. You need to get the transaction for previous month. So you need to do some homework first. So if you wanted to write a store procedure, what are the requirements that you should know clearly, right? Otherwise, you cannot do anything. So what is the input parameter, right? So what is the input parameter? So input parameter is account ID. So this is input parameter. So what all you need to print? You need to print customer info. Okay, so customer info you can get from which table? So customer information will be there in account master table, because that is what this is the information, right? So if you go to customer table, you can get complete data. Select star from account master table, right? Where account ID is equivalent to say 101. You will be able to get some data. So this is the data they're printing it. Clear? So customer ID, customer name, so blah blah blah. What is the balance that they have it? So this is the date, nothing else. Clear? So this information plus we supposed to have next requirement is that customer information is one more thing we need to get it, and the next one is transactions. So that is also previous month transactions. Okay, previous month transactions. So previous month transactions, we need to go to transaction master table, right? So how do you get previous month transactions? So we need to use date diff. So let me write the previous month transactions for this guy. So how do you get it? So it is very, very simple. You will be able to get transaction and account ID. This is fine. You will be able to get account ID, but I need previous month. Previous month means, so I can say and date diff. Okay, date diff and month. So you have a DOT, right? DOT, comma, get date. Current month means 0. Okay. So current month means 0. We are talking about previous month. Current month means 0. I don't have anything. Previous month means 1. So these are the transactions previous month. Okay. Completely, Billion has done these many transactions. Am I clear? So you can just keep it here. And which customer? A customer called 101. Okay. So what we can declare? We can declare account ID as integer. Set account ID is equivalent to 101. So I wanted to get this information. It is very, very simple to understand. Okay, not very complex. So you should know how to write it. So now let me execute this. When you execute it, so I'm able to get it. If I change 102, so 102 will go here, 102 will go here. Last month means it is 1, because this stored proc is going to be executed always in the current month. So then it will be this one, right? You're in the March, it will be previous month. Clear? Previous month data from February 1st to February 20th. If you're in April, so it'll give you March data. So if you write like this, it will be enough, right? It will be previous month data. Current month data means it will be 0. If you get current year data, you need to write YY and 0, right? If you need previous year data, you need to write 1 and YY, right? So all these things we discussed already many times. So this is the previous month data, but I don't want to display like this. I don't want to display like this, and we have to display in this format. Clear? We need to write a program, because we are displaying with the help of a select. Select is a SQL command, right? So always you will be able to print like this, but I wanted to print like this. So for this, we need to use T-SQL programming. Variables and everything need to be used, and you need to print like this. I don't want to print in the table format. Have you seen this? So I wanted to create a stored procedure. So always use like this, where in which database it has to be executed. If you write any code without this line, if you write any code without this line, they can easily catch you that you are a fake guy. Okay, they can easily catch you that you are a fake, because always the professional developers will use this statement without fail. All professionals will write. First statement would be always use IBank, use school, use master, use X. Then only they will write lot of other things. Am I clear? So make sure that you're writing, whenever you create a query, whenever you write a store procedure, whenever you create a view, the first statement would be this. Remember, clear? And later you need to write your complete comments. Okay, so this is a commenting style, right? So multi-line commenting style. Multi-line commenting style is this actually. Okay, and you can write lot of things and you can close like this. But normally people are going to be putting lot of lines to just so what is the stored proc name? Okay, stored proc name is that uh, monthly bank statement. Okay, or previous month statement, something like this. Previous month bank statement. So who's the author? Compulsory you need to write. Author is Bhaskar Jogi. Whenever you write a script, whether you're creating a view or a store procedure or a SQL script, compulsorily you need to write like this and write. Author is Bhaskar Jogi. Date of creation of the script is, say, today is March 2nd, 2021. And okay, so this one. What is the purpose of the script? So purpose is this will get previous month, okay, transactions done by the given customer. Clear? So it will get previous month transactions done by the given customer. Okay. Now, which database it is going to be executed? The database name. So where? Which database? IBank. Clear? And Bhaskar, then purpose. Then I am writing this today, and tomorrow this may, you know, change because of some new requirements. Okay, so we need to write the history also. Clear? So compulsorily you need to maintain a history in this header. This is the header. So these are the commenting lines that is there. So serial number done by, okay, then a date of changes, then remarks. Clear? For example, tomorrow someone may create. So this is the one, this is the fresh, it is a new SP. Okay, so Bhaskar Jogi. So it is March 2nd, 2021. So new SP I have created, right? So already I have given this information, and the history also normally we maintain. So this is the history of the store procedure. And tomorrow let me say Ravina, after 1 year, she will get a new requirement to modify this. So now Ravina will say, Ravina, on let us say June 2022, she joined the organization. She modified something. So modified and added, say, some tax column in the SP. She's added one more new column. It was not there. Clear? So we knew that how many times this stored proc is modified. Clear? So when is that stored proc is created, right? And after some time, after 6 months again, Ravina may be working, or Jack may be working, so he may be working on July or maybe in August. Now after 2 months, 12th or 16th or 6th July, so 2022 again he has added some more things. Clear? Is modified and added. So people are going to be writing and added. So this is the history how many times the stored proc is modified, added. So some blah blah blah. Whatever be the changes he has done, so he is going to be putting. And always this is how you should be able to write a store procedure like this first. Okay. Now after use, then you can have a create. Okay. So create a proc USP, user stored procedure, and monthly or previous month, right? So this is the name. Previous month bank statement, one input parameter I need to have as begin and go, right? If you modify anywhere tomorrow, what we can do, we can easily modify it, but here you need to give a comment. Clear? So input parameter is account ID and which is integer. That's it. Clear? So if you, whenever you execute, you're supposed to execute with this. So I can also give one default value like this. What do you mean by default value? If nobody is giving any value, take this value as a default value and execute the stored proc. That is the meaning of input parameter with the default value. Clear? I think in yesterday's PPT, we spoken about that, right? So you can say parameters. We can give input parameter and output parameter. What is an output parameter? We're going to discuss later. But you can also give a default value to the parameter, data type and parameter name. What is the parameter name? Account ID, data type. If you don't give, that is also fine. If you give, if you wanted to give a default value, why default value? If the user does not give anything, it will take this value and it will get executed. That is the meaning of default value. Clear? So that can be specified only to the input parameter, not to the output parameter. What is the input parameter? Input parameter is used to receive the data from client application. Output parameter to give data, from the server to the client application with the help of output parameters, right? So input parameter, for example, you go to the restaurant, you need to give input, right? So I need a chicken pizza. So that is the input parameter. And they'll ask you, okay, ma'am, we'll give you. There is no dining here. So you need to take away this. So they are going to be giving a lot of boxes, right? One is a pizza. The second box is called sauce. Then third one is called, paper napkins and all of them, right? So that is what is called output. Clear? So you're not going to be eating a pizza over there. If you wanted a pizza, that is, they're going to be giving there itself. But I wanted to take the item from where? From restaurant to my place. Right? That is what is called from server side to the client side. Client means your home. You're the client, you're the customer, right? So what is that you need? That is one thing. Second one thing is that that I wanted to to be sent to my place so that I will eat at my place. So output parameters are used just like a takeaway food. So if you order one pizza, you may get one box of pizza and some packets of tomato sauce and some other sauce. At least 2 to 3, packets will be delivered to you. So that is what is called output parameters. Clear? Input parameter means what is that you need. That is, so stored procedure you think as a delivery boy. Okay. So to delivery boy, you need to tell what is that you need, and the delivery boy will give you output parameters. Okay, who's the delivery boy? Delivery boy is a stored procedure. Who's the customer? That is you. You are the customer. Bhaskar Jogi is ordering to the delivery boy. So delivery boy is a store procedure, and the kitchen or hotel is available. That is what is called your server. Clear? And delivery boy is going to go to the server. He is going to be getting the data, that is pizza, and he is going to be delivering it to you. So how? With the help of an output parameter. So clear? So you need to understand, so what is that we can do with the input, what is that we can do with the output. Clear? So actual work will be done by the delivery boy, but delivery boy needs input and output parameters. Clear? So we'll talk about output parameters later. So sometimes delivery boy knows that your requirements, even though you need not tell anything, so they will give you some item. For example, store processor knows that as a default value there. So as soon as you go, if you don't tell anything, then delivery boy will give you a nice coffee. That is a inbuilt default value is there. If you don't supply anything, get me order. If you say get me order, delivery boy knows that a default value, based on that he will order the food or you will get some food. Clear? If the customer does not tell anything, so take input parameter as a take it as a default value. Clear? So all these things we can learn easily from the real time. Clear? So you assume that kitchen is a server, your place is a client, and you're calling the delivery boy over phone and you're ordering, I need these items to be delivered to my place. Clear? So now how? He has to take input parameter and he has to get output parameter. Output parameter means a pizza and lot of other items. And if you need a juice or if you need some fresh, lime water or fresh, juices, whatever you wanted to have, to be delivered. So that can be delivered via output parameters. Clear? We'll speak about output parameters. And as of now, I am talking about input parameters with the default values. Am I clear? So we know that we have to print like this. Okay. So I have to print like this. Now what I do, I we use a print command to print. So I'll use a print command to print. So this is how we need to print. Okay, so this is how I wanted to print something, then print and write these things there. So I need to print and close this, and I should also print. Okay, and you need to close this and take this print, and you need to print like this, and that's it. Let me create. So StoredProc is created. Let me call the StoredProc. How to call? You need to go and you say how to call the StoredProc. It is very, very simple. Exec StoredProc name. So you need to supply 101 or 102, right? Because if you supply like this, it is going to be executed. Now you see it is printing like this. Clear? List of transactions from February 1st to 28th, 2021, last month data. I have hard coded. So this is also need to be changed dynamically because if you execute this in June, you should not say February 1st, right? So this is also you need to make it dynamic, that we'll see later, right? So if you don't give this value also, it is going to be taking 101 and it is going to be working with us. Clear? So because 101 is a default value. Clear? So later, if you wanted to modify, you can use alt. So then I wanted to, this is got printed. So these two lines are printed. Now I need to print all these things. Clear? So product name, account number, blah, blah, blah. So how do you get this information? So get the step number one, say customer info. Okay. And how to get customer info, we know. So to get the customer info, so this is the statement. Clear? So this statement can be used. So if you give 101, 101 will go here and you supposed to get the customer info. Okay. I wanted to print, so product number, account number, customer name, all these things like this. So I need to take them in a variables. So what are the variables I need to create? I have to create declare at the rate customer name. Okay, I'll say customer name. Customer name is what? What data type it is? If you wanted to get it, so go. So you go to this table Name is varchar 40. Clear? So you need to declare customer name. You can give different names, but data types must be the same. Clear? So varchar what 40. So I would like to print customer name, account number, product name. So product name is this. This product name is savings bank, right? So declare product ID. Product ID is character 2. Okay. So what is the data type that you need to declare? That you should know. Why are we declaring? Because I don't want to print data like this. I wanted to print like this. If you wanted to print, so this can be achieved with the help of a print function. So I cannot use a select star from the database name. So I have to use the print function to display the data. Clear? So then this is done, this is done, this is done. And the branch, which branch? So here a branch ID. So we need to declare at the rate branch ID. Branch ID is character 3. So you have to know what data types I have to declare for the variables. These are the variables and this is a parameter. Parameter to take input and output values. Variables are going to be used after the begin. So these are within this program, you can use them. Clear? So these are not going to come out. Clear? So this data is go in and output parameters data will come out. Okay. So this program data, it is going to be used within begin and end. Variable means a temporary data storage blocks, which will get created in the RAM. Clear? So this is a program, right? So this is a program. So this is going to be getting the data from where? From the table. This is hard disk data will be dumped onto the memory, and using that memory block you're going to be printing. Clear? So individual data will go. So branch ID also done, right? Then the last one is a clear balance. So C balance, we can have a different name we can have. So we can have a clear balance or a balance, whatever you want to have. It is a money. You can give same name or a different name because it does not matter, right? So you can have any name anywhere. Simply we need the data, right? That's it. So I need only that information. What all I need? I need customer name. So that is a name, right? So the column name is name here, right? Customer name is name. Plus I need branch ID, product ID. So branch ID, comma product ID, comma C balance. So this is the data I wanted to get it, not more than anything else. Clear? So this is the data. Now what I'm trying to do, I wanted to display or I would like to store this data. So this side. So what is the meaning? The name is going to go to this. The branch ID is going to go to this variable. Okay. From right to left, the product ID is going to go to this variable. Okay. Now balance is going to go to this variable. Clear? So you are getting the data and putting all the data where all the data you're putting into. Many people will write like this. They will write one by one like this. Okay. This is the better way to write. Okay. So we are getting a name, this one, all the data will get stored onto the where. So this will be at the rate accounted. You should not hard code it. Okay. So whatever be the value that you're injecting or inputting, the data is going to be taken from this table and this table data dumped where. So this variable data is going to come here. This variable data going to come here. So this variable data going to come here, right? So from right to left. So this 101, it will get, substituted here. So this is what it is going to be happening. So you got the data. So the data is available in variables. Now what you do? Step number 1, you display it, right? You print it. Print the variables. So how to print? We can say print command. So before printing, I need to display this header, product name. Okay. So this is what I need to display. So print in single quote, write like this and close. Okay. Plus is the concatenation. Product name. What is the product name? Product name is available in this. I need to print this. That's it. So this is the printing command. I should do it. The next one, what is that I should print? Account number. So the next one is print account number. Below that, you can say print. So print account number. So let me give like this and put semicolon. And you need to use a plus to concatenate. Account number is input parameter you can use as it is, because it will have some data. It is also looks like a variable. It will be there in the RAM, right? So whatever be the value that you're inputting, that will get printed. So it will be one. But the problem is account number is a string and this is an integer. So string and integer will not get, concatenated. You need to cast this. Cast, because concatenation will not happen. Cast as varchar data. Clear? So otherwise it is not going to print at all, remember. So that is also done. Now customer name to be printed. Okay, let me copy this and say print and single quotes go inside and customer name and adjust all these things neatly plus customer name. Where is the customer name? Customer name is coming to this variable. So that you need to print it. Okay. So all these things you can do like this. Okay. So customer name we are printing. So after that, this side branch and clear balance need to be printed. Okay. So if you say this side are going to be again printing what? Branch. Control C and branch plus. So branch is character 3. So you can print like this. Then after that, this side print. Okay. Print what? Print a clear balance with the semicolon. Okay. Now you should also keep like this, and with the help of the variable name is this. But unfortunately, it is not going to work. Why? Clear balance is always a string, which is a money. Concatenation will not happen. You need to use a cast. Okay. As varchar. Clear? And this is what printed. Printing is done. So all these things, then there is a line. So the line, let me use this line and it is going to be printing. Okay. So this will not get printed anywhere. This will get the data and the data will be placed onto this variable. So these lines will get printed and these lines will get printed. This will not get printed. I'm altering the stored proc because already I have created. Simply I alter. Altering is done. Now let me execute the stored proc name. So you can give any value. We need not give anything. Why? Because we have given 101 as a default value. Now you see this product name SB. This is how the programming can work. Account number 101, branch BR1, customer name Billen, and a clear balance. This is the amount she has. Now we are getting a one by one, but I wanted to get, like this account number, next branch number. Now when you see account number below branch, okay, so there is a problem here. So if you go, the problem I'll tell you. Even though we are printing here, it is printing it down. It is not printing, next to this. So if you wanted to print in a single line, you should not use two commands. What you need to do, you need to print and immediately you say concatenate plus print. Okay, but I need a space in between, space of 10. So space is the function I think we have learned as part of our string functions. Okay. I need 10 spaces because there is a gap, right? So there is a gap between this to this. And I need to print this. The space I would like to print. So again, in this case, I would like to print. So same line, if you wanted to print, you should not use a print. Simply concatenate, give space of 10. Clear? So this is what you should do it. Because of this space, you will get space, not because of this space. Remember this, okay? And we need to again concatenate this. Now, let me alter this, okay? Execute. I am altering. Let me execute this line. Okay, now you see, you're able to see account number. It is available here and the billing. So this we need to adjust clearly, okay? So this may be uh, some 13 more characters. I wanted to increase. Now probably it is in good shape now, right? So it is in good shape. You need to increase, decrease one letter. So let me have, so all these things you can learn very, very easily. Okay, let me have like this and alter. Okay, probably now this is what you're able to do it. Now this is also you need to adjust. Clear? And you need to print the currency also. Currently, I did not print anything. It is Indian bank. You know, we know that the currency is INR, Indian rupees, right? So that you need to print it. So customer will not tell you all these things. So you need to bring this here and make sure. So here you can write INR. So INR plus this one. Let me execute. Let me go and try to see it. Have you seen this? So INR, blah, blah, blah. If you need some uh, space, then after this INR you need to give, or if you want to write INR in this bracket, that is also fine, or you can also have INR here. So whatever you wanted to have, do, let me remove INR here. After this, plus I can give you a space and INR. Okay, so I need to get a space, then I wanted to give INR. So clear Indian rupees, INR means, okay, Indian rupees. Now you can have like this. Have you seen? So this is how you should be able to print at least a header. Now nobody knows that we are getting the data from the table. So select statement is a SQL. SQL is going to be printing the data in a normal table format. Clear? So programmatically, if you wanted to print like this, so we must use a print command. So to use the print command, we are getting the data from a table, putting the data into variable, and taking the variable and printing the data with the help of a print command. Clear? Print command is what? T-SQL, display element. Clear? So that is what so far we had done. Now you see, we had written only simple code. So this much of a program we had written. Clear? So that is what you need to understand. So if you go to the company, they'll give you 1,000 line, 2,000 line code. You should not worried about anything. Okay. You need to write proper comments whenever you're writing a code, what you're doing and what is this for. So people would understand. Okay. You can understand. Okay. This store process is taking one input parameters. Very good. And okay, variables means it is going to be used somewhere later. Okay, so this data you need to understand like this. So 101 data, okay, 101 data is getting all this data and storing the data into these variables. Fine, fine, very good, very simple. There is no okay, another condition, only this data. That is how you need to understand the code. Okay, now what is he doing? Is simply printing everything. Okay, excellent. So that's it. So you need not worry what is this cost and what is the space, what is the clear balance, because space means you will get a space. Why are we converting? Because we're converting, this is a string function, and a string plus this is a account number is integer, we cannot concatenate. So hence is casting it. So when you see this, you need to understand the data types are not similar. So that line you need to get into your brain. Clear? Why is he printing like this? Because it is the requirement of the customer. Otherwise, we would have written this statement itself, right? 101, the data will give. We should be able to do like this. But this is not the thing the customer needs it. And the customer does not need DOO and unclear balance and status. So we are not worried about it, right? We are not printing this. Customer needs like this. Clear? Because in the requirement, this is how the customer wanted to take a printout. Clear? So remember this, all these things are very much important. So this portion is done. Now from here, I wanted to take this. So these things I want to implement. Now what I do, this line is printed. Now this line I would like to print. Copy, go. So this line is printed. The next line I'm going to be now printing. Print serial number, date of transaction it is. Date means date of transaction. So then transaction type, check number, amount, and running balance. Something like this, I would like to have it. The same thing. Okay. Uh, this line again, I wanted to print. I wanted to print and close this and print one more line so that now let me alter. Okay. So execute the complete stored proc. Now you see how it is going to be. Have you seen this? Now serial number, devotee, date of transaction, transaction type, check number, amount, running balance. For example, billing, it is a previous month, right? So no transaction she would have done it. So at least 5 to some transactions she would have done it. So I will get the all the transactions. How do we get previous month transactions? For that, we are going to use this stored proc. Okay, this this line. And copy this. Now you go and you write this statement. Step number 3. Hmm? So now we are going to be saying step number 3. Get previous month. Okay, transactions done by the given customer, whoever is the customer that you're inputting. So this is the query. This is the query. Select star from account master table where month blah 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 is equivalent to one account ID. Whatever be the account ID that you're inputting, so that. So this data again is going to be printed like this, right? So if you put 101, it is going to be printed in the which order? In this order. But I don't need like that. I don't need like this. I need to include 1, 2, 3, and I need to get and do a running balance. Clear? So running balance is starting at 10,000, and if you deposit 10,000, so 10,000 plus something. For example, first transaction is running balance 10,000. And if you deposit 20,000, 10,000 plus 20,000, it will be running balance 20,000, 30,000. Plus for this, again, you're doing a cash withdrawal. So 30,000 minus, this one, it is 25,000. Clear? So like that, I have to create a running balance column separately. So read one line. If it is a cash deposit, you need to do plus operation. If it is a cash withdrawal, you need to do minus operation. So this is not the column available in your table, right? So if you go to account master table, do we have running balance anywhere? We don't have anywhere running balance, but we need to determine the running balance. We have only transaction amount. Clear? So running balance will be, so whatever the current transaction that you're doing, either cash deposit purpose you must use plus, and cash withdrawal purpose you have to use minus, and you display that column next to the transaction amount. So this is the one thing that I should do it. So I need to do one by one operation. Why? So because I cannot print all of them like this. I need to print only one value, and based on whether it is a cash deposit or cash withdrawal, I need to include the running balance. So again, I need to print row by row, row by row, row by row. Clear? So the problem here you need to understand, select a clause can print all the data at a time. Okay, but the variables can store always only one value, right? Then if you wanted to print using a variable, so you can first take this data, then print it, then take the data, then print it, then take the data, then print it, then take the data, then print it. So this is how the you need to print the data. So these are the previous month data. I need to print one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. Okay. So to print one by one, I have to use looping because print function cannot take all the data at a time. So because variables can hold only single data, it will point and get this data, and I need to print this. Print DOT, transaction type, check number, amount, and running balance. Then go to the next line. Then go to the next line. Then go to the next line. So if you wanted to print the data, because print function cannot get all the data at a time, but select can get all the data at a time, right? So select means it is going to be looping all the rows, right? But in the programmatically, you always get a single row. Why? Because this data you need to keep into a variable. Variable always can hold a single value, right? So once it is done, then you will go and get the data, put this data into a variable, and get the next data, put into one more variable, get the data, put into one more variable, get the data, put into one more variable. Clear? Again, if you wanted to loop through, and I wanted to say go to the first row, go to the second row, go to the third row, go to the fourth row. There is no number 1, 2, 3, 4, but I should have a number to point to first row. Where is the number? Transaction number is 819, 820, something like this. So I wanted to have one number also here so that I can point to the first row, second row, third row. For that purpose, what I'm trying to use, I'm trying to use a row number function. Okay, row number function over. Otherwise, you will not loop through. Over. So order by DOT. Order by, because the transactions are going to be happen in the ascending order. So this is a row number. I wanted to include this one as well. Clear? See now, you are able to get the row number. Okay, so row number. So tomorrow, if you wanted to loop through, you can say go to row number, then go to row number 2, then go to row number 3, go to row number 4. The data is ascending order of this because first transaction, second transaction, like this. So without a row number column, looping is impossible. Clear? So I need to include this. Clear? So all these things you can learn. Let me keep the row number here and put comma. So you can put 101 here, and because let me show you the data. So row number is coming here, and a transaction number I don't need. What I need? I need serial number. So this I don't need. So I need DOT is one column, and transaction type. So this is the one more column I wanted to get it, transaction type. Then a check number. Check number is CHQ number. Then a check date I need. Check number. Oh, check date is not there. And amount. Amount means a transaction amount. Check number. Then transaction amount. Okay. Then running balance, I need to do it on my own. So that is not available in this table. So this is the data I supposed to get it. Clear, guys? So remember what all we are doing. Okay. Now this is the data I'm getting. So this is what I wanted to, this data I wanted to use and loop through. Okay. What I do, all this data I wanted to dump into a hash. Hash means local transaction data. Okay, I am dumping all the data into one temporary table. Now you see the story. Okay, I am putting all the data into temporary table. Let me execute. All the data is gone where? In temporary table. So temporary table will be removed when the stored process is executed. Now Step number 4, print or display. Print the data from which table? From temp table. So how to display the data? It is very, very simple, right? Select star from the temp table name. What is the temp table name? Temp table name is Control C and Control V. Okay. Now all the data is gone. When you execute it, you are able to get this data. Clear? So because I don't want to write these lines every time, because I wanted to loop through all the data. So all the data I have taken, I have kept into a temporary table. Okay. So where is this temporary table available? Now we know the temp table will be available in a system databases. Go to tempdb. Now you should be able to find one temporary table, transactional data. Clear? So all the data, it is going to be there in this. But when this will get removed, when the execution of the stored proc is over, automatically this will get removed. Clear? I did not execute the stored proc now. I simply executed this line. Okay. Normally, if you execute the complete stored proc, this will be removed. Clear? It will not be there. Since I did not execute, I have executed only this portion of the line, so it is still there. Because if I close this connection, what will happen? This will get removed. Okay, it will get removed because either you should have the connection, or if this line is available in a stored proc, if the stored proc execution is over, automatically this will get removed. Clear? So that means what? If you give 101, 101 data will go here. If you give 102, 102 data will go there. If you give 105, 105 data is going to go, then it will get removed. So this data is not a permanent table. Why did I store all the data? Because convenience. I don't want to write this much of a lines every time. So all the data I'm keeping and putting into this one. And here I'm going to be looping line by line. Clear? So here I wanted to loop, right? To looping purpose, we need to write while loop the condition. So how many times I need to run the loop? Because this is the data I have it. How many times I need to run the loop? You need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times you need to run the loop. So tomorrow you may have 10,000 transactions. So 10,000 times you need to run the loop. It may be a 10 transaction, 20 transaction. So the condition you should know how many times I should run the loop. So that will be given here. Okay. We need to declare one variable also, right? So declare at the rate x integer. This is the initialization, and set, okay, set at the rate x equals to 1. It has to start with the 1, and how much data it has to read? 5 times, right? So this is the initialization. For the condition purpose, what I'm trying to do, for the condition purpose, I need to know select count star from this table, right? See, now every time I'm going to be using this table only because all the data. So when I'm executing, it will give you the count is 5. So let me declare one more variable. So it is at the rate, let us say count. So integer. Now what I'm trying to put, I am trying to put cnt is equivalent to this. Now the 5 is going to go here. Clear? Now x value, the condition, the loop syntax I need to start here. So this is the loop syntax. Okay. So how to write loop syntax? It's very, very simple. At the rate x value is equal to 1. It has to loop through till it reaches 5. What is 5? 5 is available in this. It reaches 5. That's it. Okay. And begin and end. So what is that it has to print? It has to print a row by row. So from how can we print? We can print like this. So this is the data. So that can be printed. So you're going to be printing this, but don't print everything. Print uh, where there is a column called row number is equal to x. What is the meaning? X value is become 1. X value will become 1. So this row will get printed. Then, so after printing this value, okay, so get the data, get the a single row. Okay. So that data you need to get it. After that, X value has to be incremented, right? So we need to increment or decrement set at the rate X is equivalent to at the rate X plus 1. Clear? So X value will become 2. Then a second row you will get it. Again, X value will become 3. Then third, 4, 5. Then after that it will fail. So all the data you will get and you supposed to dump this data in a variable because I would like to print like this. Okay. So I wanted to print one by one, one by one. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get this data. Okay. So these columns need to be column names. I wanted to get it. So these are the column names, right? These are the column names. So row number, blah, blah, blah. So this you will be able to get. If you say one means only one row you will be able to get it. Next it will become two. Then second rows you're going to be getting it. Then the third row. That is how the loop is going to work. Now all these things, I wanted to keep them in the variables. Clear? So what I do, R number, it is a integer because row number is all going to start with 1, 2, 3. So you can declare R number dot for each and everything. You can declare some more variables anywhere, but normally let me declare some variables here. Okay, so these are the variables. You know how to use declare. Declare, then say R number, which is a row number integer. Okay, then comma is not needed. Now you say declare at the rate transaction. Now you go to the transaction master table, then understand the data types, right? So transaction date DOT, it is date and time. Now declare transaction type, it is character 3. So this was the one. Now declare check number. Check number is integer. Now declare transaction amount, which is a money. Clear? If you see carefully, this is a null value. If you have a null value, you have to give the treatments very, very carefully, because null values, if you have a null, it is not going to be printing, it is not going to do anything. Clear? So if you have any null values, you need to give special treatment, otherwise it will give you a lot of issues. Now that's fine. So R number, everything. So all these things I wanted to get. So I wanted to take the data and is equivalent to R number, and DOT is equivalent to DOT at the rate transaction type is equivalent to transaction type. Okay. So we need to include all the variables. Now you're storing data. Where are you storing the data? You're storing the data in variables. Now this is what is called at the rate X. Why? Because when the loop starts, X value is equivalent to 1. 1 means the first row data will go to here, right? So this is get the single row data and store them in variables. Why we are going to store them? Because I would like to print them here. So you go, after you reading it, immediately you print it. Print the data. So how to print? We must use print. So what is the first one I need to print? Serial number. Serial number means 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is available in your row number. So you can say R number. That is what you're going to be printing. This is the one. So this is the one you need to print it. So after that, you need to give some space. To get the space, normally what we give? We give plus and we write space. Space of 10 or space of 5. Plus we need to print the next value. Next value is a dot, date of transaction. So date of transaction is available in this variable. Now we need to write. It is not going to work because this is an integer and this is a number and this is a number. We need to convert everything. You need to convert this cast r number as varchar. Okay, then when you concatenate, then you need to, this is a date and time, this is also you need to cast it. Okay, but date and time I would like to convert Indian style. I use convert function. So I'll say convert varchar, and Indian style is 107. I remember this. Otherwise, we can just go through the Google. You will know that Indian style is 107 in SQL Server. Okay, I know that I have given, but otherwise you can specify, put 101, put 102, so that you will understand. So convert into varchar and display in 107 style. Clear? Plus, because it is going to be having only one column. Now afterwards, what I'm trying to do, so transaction type and check number. So transaction type is this. Okay. Now I wanted to give space, let us say 10, and transaction type. So transaction type is going to be a character data. I don't need to convert anything. Then after transaction type, then check number. Okay. Check number need to be given plus space of 10 plus check number. Check number I told you, right? So this will is null column. Okay. And you need to convert first. Convert. So before converting, if you have any null, is null. If you have any null, instead of a null, you display the 0. Okay. But later I would like to convert cast, open the bracket. So as varchar. So all these things you should know it. Okay, it is going to be converting, it is going to be printing one row. After printing one row, the x value will become 2. Then 2 means it is a 2 and it is less than 5. So it is going to get the second row. Then it will print all the second row. Then it will go to 3. Then 3 is a true. 3 will come here. And again 4 and 5, then the loop will exit. Clear? So once everything is over, you need to get this line printed. Okay, there is a line here. So let us print one line here. Okay, one line I wanted to print it. So this line I wanted to print. So already we are printing so many lines. Let me copy this line. And everything is not within the loop. Once the loop is over, okay, this end with the loop end. Okay, you need to write like this. This is a commenting, right? So begin this end. This end is starting end. Okay, so like that I would like to write something. Now this is my code. Save and sorry, I want to execute. I don't want to save it because anyhow the stored proc will get saved, right? Will get executed, will get saved in your IBank database. Now when you go to programmability, you should be able to see the stored proc. This is the one. Now let me execute this. When I execute this, it is going to be printing like this. Now it is displaying the data because the stored proc is, I don't want to display this data. This data I am displaying. Okay. So here I don't want to display any data. Here I'm just keeping it. Because if you display the data, it will get printed like this. Okay. I don't want to display the data. I am going to be hiding that command. Okay, I'm going to be hiding that command. Now again, you need to alter it. Done. Now you execute it. Now you see what is happening. You remove this. Now you see it is printing. First transaction is happened on this date, and the transaction type CD has to come this side, and the check number amount. It is not printing anything. Transaction amount, I think we did not print because transaction amount is not noted. So this is what is the thing. Running balance also we did not print it. So that is also to be printed. So we did not include transaction amount, I think. Okay, and one more issue, the transaction type has to, go a little bit that side. So in our stored procedure, transaction type has to be moved like this. Okay. Now I think transaction amount we did not. Transaction amount also we're printing. We're taking the data, but we did not print. Okay. We need to print plus space of 10 Control C. We need to give cast as varchar. Okay. Now let me execute this. Let me go and try to execute it. Now have you seen? At least this will remove this 5 rows affected, 10 rows affected. You're able to get. Now see, I have given you in this, but you're able to see the data. February 20th, these people have done this many transactions, and the check number is nothing, is there 0. Amount, has to come here, and running balance should go that side. Okay, so amount column has to go that side, right? Amount column should go, yeah, and execute it and go and just execute it. Now let us see, at least this is completely transaction amount is good and running balance has to go. Okay, and we need to decrease the space here. After check number, after check number, after check number, so this is a space. Let me reduce it to, let us say, 8. Okay, let me execute it. Now it is quite good, I think. Have you seen this? Now this is the data I'm able to print. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now check number is nothing, it is cash deposit. Amount is this. Running balance, we need to work on it. Clear, guys? So this is what is the stored procedure. The running balance will be 4,000. And if it is a plus, then we need to add this amount, blah blah blah. Clear? So this is what we need to do it. So that we'll be doing it tomorrow. Then we need to print lot of other information. Total number of transaction. So she has done 5. Okay. Total cash deposits that you need to print. That is 5. Total number of transactions 5. Total cash deposits 5. Cash withdrawals 0. And the check deposits also 0. So then you need to print all these things and closing balance and come out. Okay. So this is what we should do it. So what all we have done, you see, what all we have done, we see carefully. Now we'll come to know, right? So this is how a complex stored proxy should be able to have it. So now we have created. Now after that we have declared this. Now these are the data from the customer point of view. These are the variables for the transactions point of view. These are the variables for customers data to hold it, right? The later we're printing the header. Now this is also dynamically to be printed. Now we are in March. Then you have written February statically. So tomorrow you may leave, and every monthly it has to run automatically without putting any kind of hard coded values. This also will change tomorrow. Then customer info we are getting. Then we have print the variables, right? Then get the previous month data, put everything into a temporary variable. Using this temporary table and using the temporary table, I am looping through here, right? So one time I'm using the temporary table. Second time also I'm using the temporary table. If you wanted to use multiple times within the window, the better instead of writing the complete statement again and again, store the data. Now this is what we need to we should not hard code it. We need to give the account ID value here. The data I'm going to be putting it here. The first one I wanted to know to implement the condition. I'm using this here, right? Number of rows. Now I am keeping it this. Then later again, I wanted to loop through the temporary table and where row number equals to X. Okay. Without a row number, you will not be able to loop through. Row number has to be implemented. For that purpose, I have implemented row number and the transaction date ascending because I wanted to get the data in the date wise. Clear? And store all the data in this. This is previous month data. Clear? And I'm using the temporary variable here once and here 5 times because every time this query will get executed, right? So it will point to row number 1, row number 2. Then the same data I'm going to be printing it. After printing it, I'm going to be incrementing. And if this is a true, then it will go and get the next row and the third row, fourth row, fifth row. So this is what, okay? Since a check number is going to be having a nulls and you need to give the null treatment. Otherwise, it will give you a lot of other issues. Clear? So casting and convert everything you know. And I'm using convert function because I wanted to display the data in this format. Clear? So all these things we discussed. Now this stored proc, you can close this. Now if you wanted to get the stored proc, you can say sp underscore what help text, right? So that can be given. So tomorrow we'll see that. Thank you guys. Okay. So we have some more things to be implemented. So that is how you can write the stored proc. So what all we have implemented: SQL and TSQL and the printing completely done with the help of a print function and with the variables and getting the data from where from the SQL server tables. Clear? That is the beauty about SQL and TSQL. Am I clear? Any questions? So even though you have a question, you can ask me tomorrow because I don't have time to take it today. Thank you guys. Bye bye.